All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What is going on, SHIPIT Nation? We're back with the Tuesday, November 28th NHL Quick Hit edition here on the SHIPIT Nation YouTube station. If you're new, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Helps us out a ton here. We got a nice little slate here tonight. Great prize pools up top. Fantasy Hockey World Championship qualifiers. Again, if you are not a member yet, head over to shipitnation.com. Sign up for any of our packages. We got month, we got weekly, we got 6 month, and we got yearly packages available. No promo code going on right now. We did just end the Turkey 20 promo last night, but still the cheapest all-in rate in the industry to get in. And if you are not, if you're just a free listener here on the YouTube station, just hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Helps us out a ton. Without further ado, let's jump right into my favorite stacks of the night, my favorite value skaters at each position, favorite goalies, and then, as always, all my final content, slate plan, core plays will be live for SHIPIT Nation subscribers up on the SHIPIT Nation website behind the paywall. First stack I'm looking at here tonight is Vancouver. I really like the spot for Vancouver here. Vancouver at home versus Anaheim, heaviest favorite on the slate. I'm expecting them to be super chalky, implied to score almost 5 goals, but hard to ignore the spot they're in. I really like Philip Hronek here as a D-man, 4,800. That's a super cheap price point on him. But looking at the Ducks, I mean, Ducks on the road, third worst defense in the entire NHL. Expected goals is the second worst in the league. They give up the fourth most high danger chances in the league as well. So even in this spot here, it's hard for me to ignore these Vancouver Canucks here. Philip Hronek, Quinn Hughes, both great plays. Really like this power play matchup personally here for Vancouver. So really like jump into Quinn Hughes, JT Miller, Brock Besser, Philip Hronek, and Andrei Kuzmenko here. Like this top power play a ton here. Kuzmenko at 4K flat. That's a great value play there. Hronek at 4,800 at the D-men position. Really like that price. JT Miller's been on a tear. Really love him. Brock Besser has been on a tear. Anthony Beauvillier is skating with those guys as well. So really like that second line full strength here for Vancouver. And mainly focus is that top power play. Really like the spot for Vancouver here tonight. Big enough slate where I think ownership does spread out enough where we don't see massive chalk on them here. Second stack I'm going to look at here on the slate is actually one of the stacks from the first game of the night here, Toronto and Florida. Toronto at home here, -140 favorite, 6.5 is the total in this one. And I'm really going to the power play matchup here for Toronto. Florida's road penalty kill is sub 80%. They give up a lot of penalties against as well per game, right around 4 chances per game. But Toronto on home ice has the 5th best power play in the league, cashing in almost 31% of their opportunities. So give me this top power play here for Toronto as a nice stack on tonight's slate. Austin Matthews, William Nylander, John Tavares, Mitchell Marner, Morgan Riley. Really like that John Tavares line, Bertuzzi, Marner, and John Tavares. That line in general over the last 3 games has 32 unblocked shot attempts for on net. So really like that line. If I'm stacking up Toronto, I'm going to go to that second line. My 2 favorite guys are definitely John Tavares and Mitchell Marner because they correlate together on that top power play, which I like the power play matchup a lot here. So Toronto line 2 for me, top power play is definitely one of my favorite stacks of tonight's slate. Jumping into another great spot here. I really like these New Jersey Devils now that they're fully back healthy here. They got Jack Hughes is back, Nico Hischier's back. And once they returned, both of them were back in the lineup last game against Buffalo, dropped 7 goals. Obviously, this matchup isn't as easy as the Buffalo matchup here, but really like this spot still for the Devils here on home ice. And really looking to target this top power play. Jack Hughes, Tyler Toffoli, Jesper Bratt, Nico Hischier, and Luke Hughes. Luke Hughes, sub 4K, running point on that top power play is still too cheap for him in this matchup. Looking at the power play numbers, 3rd best home power play in the league against the worst road penalty kill in the league. And of the Islanders can't kill off any penalties on the road. So I really love this spot for New Jersey here. One of my top favorite stacks of the night. New Jersey top power play. Definitely love them a ton here. Looking at some other stacks on this slate, couple of other a game kind of that I expect to pop off here is actually going to be Tampa Bay and Arizona. I could see 8 to 10 goals in this game, like both sides of it here. I think the Arizona side is going to be lower owned, so I really like that Arizona side, but do need to note this top line for Tampa is firing on all cylinders right now. They did just lose last night. They are on a back-to-back here, so gives a slight boost more to Arizona as well. I typically I prefer in this spot here Arizona more in GPPs, but do need to bring up Tampa because Arizona is pretty leaky from a defensive standpoint here in this spot. 6.5 is the total. Arizona is just a plus 110 home dog here. Obviously with Tampa on a back-to-back, but Tampa on the road, extremely leaky. Do need to bring up, if I'm going to Tampa, this top line, Brandon Hagel, Braden Point, Nikita Kucherov is just playing too good of hockey right now for me to ignore. But in GPPs, I actually really like this Arizona squad. You can go to the top line, Cooley, Nick Schmaltz, Clayton Keller. But the second line actually is where I think you can get different here. Lawson Krause, McKelly, and Bukestad here. They're very, very cheap. And over the last 3 games, they have 32 unblocked shot attempts, 4 on net. They're all super cheap. Lawson Krause, one of my favorite plays on the entire slate at 4,300. He's playing incredible hockey right now, averaging almost 5 shots on net per game. Nick Bukestad, sub 4K, excellent value play there. And Matthias Makeli, sub 4K as well. Excellent value play there. So really like Arizona here in this spot. One of my favorite GPP stacks of the night. I think they go overlooked in this one. Last 2 spots that I'm looking at here. First spot for me is going to be Seattle here on the road, facing Chicago. Kraken are hard to stack up, but man, it's hard to ignore this matchup for them. Chicago, very, very leaky here. They allow the 5th most expected goals in the league on the home ice here. And Seattle remains super cheap. I mean, Jared McCann, Oliver Bjorkstrand, Vince Dunn, all these guys are cheap. So I like them more as like a 2 or 3 man stack personally. If I'm going to them, just because it's hard to correlate with them. Their lines, they got lines, all their lines score from all over. Matty Beaners is playing pretty good hockey right now. He's 4,100 top line, top power play. That's a pretty good value play there. Gets a great matchup here. Centers against Chicago do pretty well. Jordan Eberle playing amazing hockey right now. 4K flat for him. One of the best value wings on the entire slate. Really like him. Eli Tolvainen's been playing great hockey all year long. He's getting top power play unit time. He's got good history against Chicago as well. He's 4,200. So think you can go to any of these Seattle Kraken. One guy I really like too here is Yanni Gourde. I'm always a Yanni Gourde believer. Again, centers versus Chicago. Good matchup. 3,700 for Yanni Gourde. He's got incredible history against Chicago as well. So I do like these Kraken as fillers in your lineups, 2-man, 3-man stacks for GPPs. If you need some value, they got great price points. The last team that I'm going to go to, I don't play this team too much. Don't play them very often at all. But they did just pull out 4 goals against Chicago. They scored 6 against Arizona, 3 against Anaheim. So anytime they get matchups here against teams that are pretty leaky, they tend to do pretty well. And the one team that is leaky a lot here is the Minnesota Wild on home ice. They're allowing over 4.3 goals per game on average over their home stretch this season. So I like going to some of these St. Louis Blues here. Jordan Kyrou is a third line. He's going to be super low owned here, 6,400 for him. Don't love the price point a ton on him, but definitely has a ton of talent there, getting top power play time. Pavel Buchnevich is probably my favorite St. Louis Blue here. Top line, top power play at 6K flat. He's been very active. Jacob Vrana is a great value play, 3,200 second line, skating next to Braden Shen and Kasperi Kapanen. That second line would be probably my preference if I'm going to the Blues just at their price points. I like second liners a little bit more on the road. I'm assuming that Robert Thomas, Jake Neighbors, and Pavel Buchnevich line is going to get the Eriksson X treatment here. So gives a boost to these other lines, line 2, line 3 for me for the Blues in this matchup. So I do like the Blues as GPV sleepers. Think they go very overlooked in this spot. And we could see a 4 or 5 goal performance here out of St. Louis tonight in this matchup. Looking at the value position here, starting with the center, My favorite value center on the entire slate is Nick Bjugstad here for the Arizona Coyotes. 3,700 for him. He's averaging almost 33 shots on goal per game over the last 5. Again, really like Arizona in the spot with Tampa coming on a back-to-back. Arizona at home here. Think Arizona can score some goals and win this game outright. So Nick Bjugstad is going to be my favorite value center on the slate. A couple more value centers to look at. Kevin Hayes for St. Louis. Talk about that third line with Brandon Saad, Jordan Kyrou, Kevin Hayes. That's a very, very good third line. They should get a great matchup here. So really like St. Louis 3. Kevin Hayes at 3,300 is a nice value play on this slate from a center position. 2 more value centers from the same team here. It's Ryan Poehling and Morgan Frost, both from Philly. Don't like Philly a ton here, but Carolina can be scored on. They are pretty leaky here. Philly is at home, which gives a boost. Ryan Poehling and Morgan Frost both have great price points under 4K. Both have upside in this matchup, so I like both of them. And then the last guy I'm looking at here is Vancouver. Chalk of the slate, but it's a guy that's a third liner getting power play time at $300 over min price. It's Teddy Bluger here. 2,800 for him. He's averaging over 2 shots on net per game over the last 5. So Teddy Bluger is another value center that I'm looking at on this slate. Jumping into the wing position here. First wing kicking it off on this slate is going to be Michael Eyssimont here for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Again, like both sides of that game in Arizona there, prefer Arizona in GPPs, but Michael Eyssimont averaging over 3 shots a net per game, going to play 14 to 16 minutes. He's been very good, averaging over 10 DraftKings points per game over the last 5, and he's just 3K flat, $500 over min price. So Michael Eyssimont is a good value play. Already brought up this guy when I talked about the Blues here. Jacob Vrana, 3,200 for him, second liner, skating next to Shannon and Kapanen. Really like the Blues, like I said. Jacob Vrana, 3,200. He's averaging over 2 shots on net per game, 2.5 shots on net, over the last 5. So I think he's a fine value play on this slate as well. Going back out to Vancouver here, another value Vancouver piece that you can go to is Connor Garland here. Connor Garland is 3,200. He's playing great hockey right now and gets a great matchup here against Anaheim. Obviously, the chalk of the slate here. So Connor Garland, great price point, 3,200. He's been good over the last 5 games as well. Going to play 12 to 14 minutes and could get extended run too if Vancouver is blowing the doors off this Anaheim Ducks team here on home ice. 2 more guys. I already mentioned this guy when I talked about Seattle. Jordan Eberle, 4K flat for him, top line, getting power play time. He's playing 16 to 18 minutes, averaging over 2 shots a net per game. Hasn't scored under 8 DraftKings points in any of the games that he's returned outside of last game versus Vancouver. 8, 25, 12, 10, 5 is his game log since he's returned after sitting out those 2 games in Colorado and the game in Edmonton. So Jordan Eberle is a good 4K value wing on the slate. And then the last guy, this guy's playing out of his mind right now. It's Yakov Trenin here for the Nashville Predators here on home ice, third liner, getting power play time versus Pittsburgh. 17, 10, 6, 16, and 12. He's averaging over 2 shots a net per game. He's playing over 17 minutes as well. So Yakov Trenin here is playing great hockey, and he's $400 over min price. $2,900 for him is a nice price point. 2 more positions to go, talking on some value D-men, and then my favorite goalies before I get out of here. If you guys haven't hit that like button already, hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. We're on the tour for 5, or drive for 5 here, 5,000 subscribers. Once we hit that, we're giving away an annual membership to a lucky YouTube listener of all of our shows here. So we appreciate all y'all's support here. Jumping into the D position here, the first guy is going to be a guy that's just returning back from being on the IR. Last game, he returned against the Islanders, played 18 minutes. I like going right back to the well here with Rasmus Ristolainen here at 3K flat. Last game, he had 3 shots on net, 2 blocks, 3K flat for him. If he does something like that, I expect a little bit more minutes here in this matchup against Philly and Carolina. I think Philly can win this game as well. Rasmus Ristolainen at 3K flat is a great value play on the slate. Another value D-man, going back to Seattle, I feel like I bring up this guy every time. Seattle is on the slate here, but it's Jamie Olisiak He just plays over 20 minutes. He blocks shots. He will fire the puck sometime. He's got 20-point upside at 3,500 as a D-man, which is sometimes hard to find here. And now gets a fantastic matchup against Chicago. So Jamie Olisiak here, do have a lot of interest in him. Going back out to Vancouver here, the chalk, but this guy is a punt D-man here that you're basically banking on him getting 3 blocks to pick up that block shot bonus. But again, 2,800. If he gets you 5 to 8 to 10 DraftKings points, somewhere in that ballpark, I mean, between 5 and 10 DraftKings points, you're sitting pretty good at 2,800 because it allows you to spend up elsewhere for some of these top end centers, these top end wings in great matchups on this slate. It's a guy, Ian Cole for Vancouver here, 2,800. He's going to play close to 20 minutes and skate on that third line, pick up some block shots. So I do like Ian Cole here as a punt D-man. 2 more guys here. This first guy is Alexander Romanov here for the New York Islanders. Again, he should be able to see a ton of block shots upside in this matchup with New Jersey. New Jersey's on home ice. They should be firing the puck. Obviously, they're fully healthy with Nico and Jack Hughes back in the lineup. This guy plays over 23 minutes, so ice time leads to opportunities. 3,300 for him is a fine value option at the D-man. And then this last guy talked about liking the Blues quite a bit here. This guy's playing over 22 minutes as well. Nick Leddy here, top liner, skate next to Colton Parayko. Nick Leddy, pick up some block shots, hopefully fire a couple pucks on net, and 3,100 for him. Again, playing over 22 minutes. The ice time is there, so could lead to more opportunities for him. Jumping into some of my favorite goalies on the slate, I'll bring up the chalk goalie of the slate here. If you're spending up, it's going to be Thatcher Demko here. I just don't see how Vancouver loses this game. So should have the win baked in here. But again, if he lets up a couple goals, it's going to be tough for him to pay off that $8,500 price point. But he is the top projected goalie on the entire slate, Thatcher Demko at 8,500. Talking some of my more favorite GPP goalies here on the slate. First guy is going to be Tristan Jarry here. This guy just has a great price point for his talent and his upside. Tristan Jarry, 7,800. He is on the road, but he has incredible history. He went 2-0 last year against Nashville, and now he's 7.8K here in this matchup. Great upside for him. So Tristan Jarry, definitely have to have consideration for him in GPPs. Looking at the other side as well. Again, if you like Nashville a little bit more, you get Juice Saros here at cheaper than Jarry here. Both of this game could go either way. It's a 6 total. Both teams are 10-10. I give the slight edge to Nashville here just due to home matchup, being able to dictate the line matchups as well. And Juice Saros at 7.6K. Fantastic option in GPPs. Going to pick up some save volume. With the shots that Pittsburgh does like to take. So Juice Saros 7,600. Great price on him for his upside in GPPs. And then 2 other guys that are going to be low owned GPP options. Number 1, Carter Hart here. Again, I like Philly to win this game, or think Philly has a pretty good opportunity to win this game against Carolina here. Carter Hart at home at just 7.2K. Doesn't take much for him to pay off that price point. And if he puts up 18 to 25, somewhere in that ballpark at 7.2K, that should be enough, which I think he can do. His last start against Carolina back on the 15th, he had a 31 save win, put up 24 DraftKings points. I could see something like that. So he's at over 30 saves in both of the games against Carolina this year. I think we see another 30 plus save here. And if he gets us to 35 saves, you're swimming at that $7,200 price point. And the last guy is going to be a totally GPP play here. It's going to be Connor Ingram. Really like Connor Ingram here. Again, I like Arizona on home ice here. Connor Ingram, 7.1K. He has immense upside on this slate. He's been very good. Just shut out the Golden Knights. Last time he faced Tampa, he shut them out as well. Connor Ingram, 7,100 here on home ice. Probably my favorite GPP goalie on the entire slate. Should be low owned here. And again, I like Arizona to win this game tonight with Tampa on a back-to-back. that's going to do it for this edition of the NHL Quick Hit. Again, bear with me. I appreciate y'all bearing with me here. I'm on mobile on a lunch break here. I'm bringing you guys the winners. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a ton here. All my final content will be live on SHIPITNation.com for premium subscribers. If you are not a member, head over to SHIPITNation.com. Choose any package, click join now, and get in the community. Join the Discord, get in, start winning with us. So that's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. For myself, Nadesify, let's ship it.